Hi, and thanks for joining me. I'm Teresa Crawley with Transwest Truck Trailer RV of Frederick, Colorado. Today I'm going to show you a brand new 2022 Newmar Country Star. This is the floor plan 4045 and it has bunk beds in it. If you're just joining us, we did a video right before this of the underneath of this coach, as well as some of the great dash features. That video will be linked below if you wanted to know any more of that information. It was very educational, really great video. So I'm gonna skip this area since we just did it, and we'll start working our way through the actual motorhome part. We have this really nice, light, bright color scheme in here, which I love because sometimes when these get too dark, they can get really closed up looking. So they did a great job of picking really good interior colors that I also don't think are going to go out of style anytime soon. So great colors, light cabinetry. Over here we have a pull-out sleeper sofa, and I'll show you that. It's just like something you would have in a home. So you just pull this up, and then you've got the actual mattress that pulls out this way here. We of course have some storage up here, and I'll try to do a good job of showing you all of that. Let's see. Directly opposite we have a booth dinette that also converts into a bed. Now you don't see this on a lot of Newmars, but this one has it. So you've got sleeping for 8 people, technically. This of course would be a smaller child like sleeping area, but you could fit quite a few adults in here as well. So the basics is this drops down, these get lifted just a bit, and then there's a pad that goes on, which I'll show you in a moment. But I just wanted you to get the basic concept. That's where the sleeping area is. And then right behind there is a televator. So what that means is the TV is on a lift. I'll show you how that works. It's just a push of a button. It's very simple. So keep all those people that you have riding with you occupied while you're going down the road with this beautiful, huge TV. And when you're done with it, it can go back down and you can have all that great sunlight coming through. Above, we of course have a sound bar, and this is where all your electronics are going to be stored if you choose to add DirecTV or something like that, a DVD player, etc. A little bit more storage here, and these go back pretty far. You can see there, pretty good deep storage. And then underneath of the table, we've got a little bit more storage on either side here as well. So important to have storage in these. Kitchen is really awesomely equipped, especially for a 40-foot coach that has bunk beds. Normally those bunk beds just take up so much space that you don't have room for a kitchen or a nice sized seating area, but this one has both. So I'll show you a little bit of that as we go around. This one, of course, you're not going to be able to keep much in there, but it makes a great little spice cabinet. Over here, you'll see that it's carpeted in here, and that's going to help from making noise as you're going down the road and breaking dishes and things like that. So it's nice that they go that extra mile for you. These are all the manuals that you're going to be required to read through before I'll let you buy it. Just kidding. But they're there if you ever wanted to. A little bit of extra storage here as well. And more. And more. And a little place to put your scrubbies. So Newmar always uses the solid surface countertops unless they're using a quartz. But this is a solid surface countertop that they cut in-house to precisely fit this coach. So I really like that they do that and they finish them well. We of course have a pull-out sprayer and a double stainless steel sink here. We did include a kitchen window here, and you can open that for ventilation, so I love that. It's not just pretty, it's functional as well. We have a fan up here that's going to take out heat, smoke, etc. from when you're cooking, or when I'm cooking. Usually I have to have that on. In here we have a convection microwave, so you can bake in here. This coach does not have a oven, and that is the way that motorhomes are going these days. They don't have ovens as often anymore. Why, you may ask? They bake unevenly and they heat up your coach really badly. So it's better to have something like this that's not going to heat up your coach, and then you're going to have to work your air conditioners even harder to get it cooled down in here. So that's why these are really easy to learn how to use too. So go on YouTube after you finish your video here and look up convection microwave cooking or baking, and you will find lots of resources on how to use this, and then you can get over the fear of not having an oven anymore. Here's another thing, that because they make their own countertops, they can make this cover into a splash guard. This is a big deal to me. A lot of our customers are a little bit older. They might have arthritis in their hands. Even for me, sometimes these covers can be very bulky and heavy. Having to take them off and store them somewhere, it's just a hassle, and it's kind of heavy and awkward. So I like that they made this so that it just folds back, and it's a splash guard, so you don't have to clean those tiles off when you're done cooking, but then it just slips right back into place when you're done as well. So love that they do that. And then of course we have a pull out here for extra counter space, as well as lots and lots of deep full extension pull-outs here. It's awesome. Let's see if I can do my hip trick. For some reason, when I hit that with my hips sideways a little, it just goes in so smoothly. Over here we have a residential Whirlpool refrigerator. Another thing that people are getting nervous about, because we're changing from those two-way or three-way refrigerators. This coach has extra batteries in it. It has an 8,000 kilowatt Cummins own generator, so plenty of power to be able to keep this going. If you are nervous about having a residential refrigerator though, I tell people cool it down before you go on your trip, then get your stuff in there, and it's going to hold that cool in there quite a while, as long as you don't have people opening it constantly, but it'll still keep it cool. It's just getting it cooled down in the beginning. That's where most of your power draw is going to be. So we've got an ice maker here that'll just pour into that section, and then lots of storage down here. This refrigerator also has a lock, so this is going to keep your pickles from coming out when you're taking a really tight turn, crashing all over your floor. Yes, that has happened to one of my customers. This is the most amazing thing in the whole kitchen, in my opinion. Look at that pantry. It's huge. Comment below on how many cereal boxes you think will fit in there. Back here is the bunk room. So, oh, I can't do that with one finger. There we go. Oh. Sorry, that door doesn't want to open for me, so I'll show you the other one. But over here we have bunk beds. They each have their own window here, so with a roller shade. Those windows do open, so we can get some ventilation in here, and they have little reading lights for your little guests that are going to be in here. A ladder, of course, to get up in there. And then they have quite a bit of storage over here in their own closet. So we've got a hanging closet, we've got shoe shelves, and then we have pull-out drawers underneath. So I can't believe how much storage this coach has. There you go. Because we have all of these things in here, we only have one bathroom, which is fine. It's a very well appointed. We have a very large shower in here. They put a sunroof on there so the taller folks can get in there. But it's also a rectangular shower For those of you who have experienced a rounded corner shower, those are a little bit harder to navigate. These rectangular ones are a lot more spacious and you can really get your elbows out. You may have also noticed there's an emergency exit door right behind the toilet. Sometimes it's just not practical to try to get out of a little window, depending on your size and your abilities. And then in here, we have lots more storage. Oops. Some down here. And a nice medicine cabinet as well. We have another one of those exhaust fans in here. It'll help suck the moisture out quite quickly. And a little hook for your robe. All right, here's the other side of that door. That's how it's supposed to go. So privacy for the master, privacy for the bunk area or the kitchen. If you wanted to just sleep in a little bit later and you're back here, you can do that. Into the master suite, we have that emergency exit window I was telling you about, and this one is quite big actually. Lots of storage up here. This again is going to be an entertainment cabinet. You know that because it has glass rather than wood there, and that's just so that your remote controls can be read through that. Samsung TV, a little bit of storage. And then all of these are going to pull out just the same. So I won't bore you with all of them, but you may have also noticed that we have light panels throughout here. So I can turn on my lights on and off with just the push of the button. I don't have to go around and turn each one off individually, etc. I really love that feature. Some coaches you have to find them all and it's like an Easter egg hunt. This cabinet is where you would have a washer and dryer. This coach is not optioned to have that, but it is plumbed. So if you decided you wanted that done, it's very easy to put that in, washer and dryer stackable. But right now it's got a great hanging rod and it's just a great place for storage. So you can choose. Some people think having a washer and dryer on the road is silly, and some people think it's a necessity. So we let you choose. Over here is your hanging closet, your main one. And this is that cushion that makes the dinette a bed. I just put it back here to have it out of the way for the video, and you can do the same or leave it at home or put it in the underneath storage compartments. Just depends on if you're going to be using it or not. There is a light in here too. There you go. We do have a king size bed here, and we have light controls, the ones I was just showing you, above the sleeping area. So you can turn off the ceiling lights, the courtesy lights, and then the reading lights, you can turn them on high or low. And if you're wondering if this blue light's on all the time, you can actually turn that off as well, so you can sleep a little more soundly. And we actually have security lights for the outside of the coach on a switch there as well. Another thing that's pretty important to point out is that we have openable windows on either side. So you can get a really good cross breeze in here and sleep with the windows open. There is a little bit of storage under the bed as well, and it's quite easy to lift because these are on little shocks here. But you've got lots of room for linens and things like that, extra pillows and blankets. And I think we're done with the inside, so I'm going to close the slide in this bedroom and then we'll go to the front and I'll show you how that works as well. So Newmar is known for their slide mechanisms. They were the very first to put them on motorized motorhomes. And when they invented them, they chose a cog wheel system. So they have these giant cog wheels under the coach that click these slides into place. Why I'm pointing that out is because slides can be a very, they break a lot on other brands. That's just the only way to say it. They break a lot, they get jammed up, they can get fabric stuck in the little, I don't even know what they're called, the guides. Fabric gets stuck in there and then you've got a broken slide. That's an expensive problem to have. These cogwheel slides, super dependable. And they last the life of the coach. So I don't know why everybody doesn't use them, but they don't. Okay, bringing in the driver's side slide here. This is the big one. Goes all the way back to the end of the master bedroom. If you can see that, it's right in front of where that washer and dryer compartment is. Okay, up here just a couple things. This coach did have optioned in the Truma Aqua Go. That's a tankless water heating system. You also have your awning control, awning lights, another awning control, those security exterior lights and your exterior step on and off. This touchscreen panel is the place that you're going to check your tanks. I'm glad that the fresh gray, black, and LP are all empty right now, since it's not going to a home, but that's how you would know if you needed to go dump or go fill up. You can also tell the voltage that your house and chassis batteries are at. This is also where you're going to turn on your air conditioner and your heat, and you have two different zones for that. And then you have an auto gen start here, so you can program that to start at a certain time. Here's those slide out controls I was just using. This is your inverter, and this is showing you your power system right now. So, like I said, we have an 8 kilowatt generator, and it's just monitoring all of that stuff there. We are also plugged into 50 amp. And we do have a Winegard Traveler on here. That's an option, so not all Country Stars are going to have it, but this one does. And as we're heading out, you'll see that this passenger seat, not the driver's seat, does have a footrest that can be pulled up during driving or when the seat is turned around. We also have a little tray table here. So how that works is it comes down like this. This reminds me of airplanes. So there's your little table. You can eat a sandwich or work on your laptop here, and a little cup holder. So I love that they do that for the passenger, because it can be kind of boring to be the passenger. Let me see, what am I doing wrong here? Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Okay. And roller shades, of course, throughout. So we have darkening and just the light diffusing ones as well. Over here we do have a step cover. People ask me this a lot. Well, what happens with the stairs? So they get covered. Your feet aren't going to be dangling here, and your dog can sit at your feet when you get this step cover deployed here. So that's what the step cover looks like, and it's very quick. We have a battery disconnect right at the door, and that's great. You can shut off all the lights just by pushing that button, and all the power for that matter. So if you're not going to be using it for a while, it's just one touch of the button. Very convenient. Out here we have your Michelin 22.5 tires. Really beautiful and unique paint scheme here. This is the Ashberry decor. It has a little bit of a sage green in it and a taupey brown color in there, so it doesn't look like all the other ones we've seen. First bay of storage here. This bay goes all the way to the other side, so we'll be able to access that storage all the way through. And if you watched the video before, we talked about the chassis rail and how the house is built above the chassis rail. That's important because when you build it on the chassis rail, which a lot of companies do, you get a lot of vibration, noise, tile breakage, etc. But Newmar does this star foundation to add to the strength of this chassis and the whole motorhome itself, but it also allows the floor to be up higher so you don't get all that noise and vibration, but it also helps you to be able to store a lot more stuff. Here's our exterior TV with the Bose sound bar, and you can hook that up with to your dash radio. You could Bluetooth, etc. Another pass-through storage here. And another full pass-through storage. That's the most I've ever seen on a motorhome. 3 full bays all the way through. One thing that I failed to mention when we were inside is we do have a central vacuum system here. So these are the hoses for that system. You also have a kick plate, so you can just sweep into a plate and it'll suck it away. This is the emergency exit door that I showed you in the bathroom. So if you had to jump, which you don't because it has a ladder that drops down, it wouldn't be that terribly far. So love that feature. Don't like to think about emergencies, but you want to be prepared for them. There's a water tank behind here, so Newmar decided to use those 4 inches or whatever it is to make a tool hanging place for you. So good use of space. You could also carry some extra Duff bottles in there, or if you're like me, just hang some earrings in there. That was a joke. Okay, a little bit more storage here. And back here, this is your chassis batteries, and there is a chassis disconnect right here. So again, if you're not using the coach for a while, you can turn that chassis disconnect to off, and it won't be drawing the slow bleed on those batteries there. If you want to know what all of that stuff is, watch the video that's linked below. We actually lifted this thing up, I would say 6.5 to 7 feet in the air, and we were underneath pointing out each component and what it does. It was absolutely fascinating. So the Kountry Star here, it's built on a Freightliner chassis with a 360 Cummins engine, of course an Allison transmission. We have a 5,000 pounds towing capacity, and we do have the airline set up for your tow vehicle and a plug-in there as well. I don't think we pointed out that there's a backup camera as well as side cameras on either side of the coach. Very, very important for safety. Trying to back this thing into a little spot can be kind of tricky, but for me, Newmars are the easiest to drive and park. Partly because of those great cameras and the positioning of them, partly because of the comfort drive steering that we talked about earlier. Another carpeted bay. And this is where your power cord is stowed, as well as your surge protector with a transfer switch. This is where you're going to put your DEF fluid. And over here you say, what is that? That is where you're going to put your stinky slinky. And why is that important? You don't want your sewage touching your fresh water, that's why. Here is your water bay. You do have an outside shower, as well as a whole house water filter. Very easy fresh water tank fill, as well as a sewage rinse. They also have instructions on how to winterize. It's going to make that a lot less expensive if you do it yourself. And then we're back to these pass-through storage compartments, which we showed you on the other side, but I just wanted to reiterate. There's a whole lot of storage through there. Over here we have those upgraded batteries I was telling you about, and your propane tank. So on this coach we have dual fuel fill for your diesel. So both sides can be filled at the same time. They do go into the same tank. And this is going to hold 100 gallons of diesel fuel. I did want to point out, this is where the side view cameras are located. And that's a big deal because most manufacturers put them up here integrated into this mirror. That's a problem for two reasons. One, if this breaks, it's going to be a lot more expensive to buy a side view mirror with a camera system in it. The other is, this is child and dog level. So you can see all those shorter things that you really don't want to run over a lot easier when it's down here. So I'm a big fan of Newmar. I'm a big fan of Freightliner and the quality that they build for us. I'm proud to work here at Transwest, where we're a Freightliner full service dealership, and we can service the RV side and the chassis side. If you have any questions, including price, please email me at teresa.crawley@transwest.com. I don't always get those comments that are left on the YouTube channel or on the Facebook channel. So if you email me or call me directly, I'll be sure to get you the information that you need, and I'm happy to do so. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.